back. I'm gonna be as ratchet as I feel like being today, y'all. No liquor, just coffee.
The world is filled with pimps and hoes. We'll just talk about those I know. The world is mine, can't you see? I'm just trying to be all I can be. Yeah. Now first come the cash, then come the ass, then come
What's
big
up?
blunts with big chunks of
Oh, I'm
hash.
missing names, but hey, much love to everybody.
Pimp so hard, a nigga drag his mink on the floor. Won't you admit it? I ain't gotta talk because
People gonna be mad at me today, but so what? Marvin, what's going on?
Be satisfied to all
I
my
see you,
niggas.
Mel.
Gino, we get it back to split. And Big B, that nigga with me flying through your hood. Hood rats scoping with their eyes on my hood. See, we date them like we need them, like we don't need them. Treat them like we need them.
Hey, y'all remember when Diddy used to do them dances?
Remember to select a few, and it's best that you never knew.
What's up, Ryan?
Okay,
I'm gonna be resting all day today, so I can get with you. I just left therapy again. Just cool though. Let it get going.
The world is mine, can't you see? I'm just trying to be all I can be.
Movies in the system, ain't no telling shut up away. Hold on, Nick. I just seen your message. You know we can make that happen. I've been trying to get back at it. I'm at Mike, I'm at a good spot. Let me search through my phone. Oh, this is real player music. Interior decorated, hey. See it? I'm just gonna tell y'all the real. This is when hip hop was real. Pimps and hoes, I just talk about those I know. Truly, the world is filled with pimps and hoes, but we gonna talk about the ones I know today.
The world is mine, can't you see?
Ooh, that coffee hot.
All I can be.
Uh-oh, Nick over there hiding something. My lifetime. Always say the right line. I know that's right. You heard him. They like pimps. You can't let to you. Shove in the bridge. Hey. Stop lying. Hey. I gotta moisturize because I'm gonna be talking so much shit today. They probably gonna kick me off. But I still figure she left because you couldn't be like them real niggas. Hey. You was a hustler by nature, and you was just faker than the average chick. Hey. Okay, nigga. Well, I probably have to check it after this. I'll be scared to touch my phone during these lives. Well, that phone. Crazy ass man. Hey, Short said, crazy ass man. Yeah, she was horn in 9th grade. I remember her. She was rest haven for hoes. What's going on, that dude? He said you was just the first one to come around when that bitch got out the pen. Yeah, I know a few of those. Hey. Fell in love with her, man. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife, fool. Every time you turn your back, nigga, that bitch was fucking with them gangsters. Larry said I seen her at Linda McCann. Woo! Oh man, we acting up already. I hope y'all having a beautiful week. I'm feeling better, you know what I mean? And I thank y'all every time y'all hit me up, man. A lot of times I see the messages way too late to respond. But I tell you what, man, you know, it's a beautiful thing. That's all I can say. It's a beautiful thing. Life is a beautiful thing. That Mufasa girl's getting fat, man. It is. It's. I'm gonna tell y'all, and this is just me. It's been like, I say about 5, 6 years since I really felt like all the way like myself, And I'm getting back, I think, you only have so much shit, then you break through and you ready, man. And it seemed like stuff is lining up. Yeah, that Mufasa girl, she's getting fat. I was just out there with her last night. And all these breedings is getting done, man, and things is all right. Or they say it's all right. It's all right. And like I said on the one video, somebody was like, man, you was hot. Now I'm just ready to compete again. When you see, like, for me, it's been so many things, and y'all will see me do that thing. That's the neck thing. I just, like, it'll stiffen up, so don't think I'm Ray Charles in it, or doing some bad impression of Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder or something with these damn glasses. But anyway, as I think it was funny, I got a message from my homie, Memo Loke, IBKC. And, and it's just good when I hear from my guys, man, my old school dudes. But, like the competitive nature, I feel like it's come back in me is that it ain't to talk shit. It ain't to be braggadocious. It's just like, you see something for so long and you see, especially something that you have a passion about. And you see people just consistently fucking it up, and and a lot of these guys all the time, that's the first thing they say. Oh, well, make gold come to, come bring a dog, do this, do that. And I just really wasn't on it. I should have had Mandela out more and more to, crush a lot of these extreme dogs throughout the years. But, I said, what better than to come back and make a better version of Mandela and start, just showing up and busting their asses with these incomplete dogs. So, for me, it's doing good. I'm real happy with that Mufasa female, and the potential. I'm really trying to set up something. The BRC. Like I told you, I'm back to me, man. I don't bite my tongue. The BRC is just, it is what it is. Kev Green is a show promoter, and he's always looked at this game as a money thing. What's going on from Kansas? Alan Dennis, my good brother there. That's my guy, man. But these guys is I answer that. These guys, what's going on, Terrence? These guys ain't really about shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say what it is. Great organization, great promotion. That's what they do. They beat me on promotion and organization all the fucking time. But as far as dog man, they ain't no dog man shit. Anytime you handing awards out to deformed dogs, you ain't about shit. You can't do it. You know what I'm saying? It's unacceptable. Anybody who says it's unacceptable is a breeder and for the most part a shit person. Now it's to me it's not really a top dog, and this is why I'm gonna say we just gonna really go. What's going on, Mr. Price? You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see what you're doing over there. And remember, as soon as you need me, you call me. I got you. I got some other shit. Trust me, the best stud I ever made right now is sitting at my house. Young, beautiful, but he's sitting at the house. He ready to take the throne. I'm seeing it, I'm like, uh-oh. And that's the best one I ever made. So we got some things coming, and everybody who's been showing me love over the years, I'm gonna work with y'all like a motherfucker. Some of y'all know it don't need to be said live. There go my brother Michael Sniper Bailey. I'm gonna post a video of his Odell clone. He got a female that's a clone, but this is the hardest thing, right? This is the hardest thing. RPM, we in the lab. I know it's been too long, brother, but we in the lab. We in the lab. I'm gonna make sure we got to talk. I know I said it before, I always mess up, but I'm feeling better. We in the lab though. I think for what you got, I think you might be able to go ahead and do a triple Mandela breeding in your own yard, but it be broke so perfectly that it's still 50%. But anyway, hey, I get off in my thoughts. But see, the top dog question is hard. You know what I mean? because this sport is not what it used to be. It's almost like this sport got changed to what boxing is. You know what I mean? Where the reality ain't the reality no more. And it's worse than boxing, because at least in boxing, you get a chance to knock somebody the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? In boxing, you know what I'm saying? You know, what's going on, Max? I'm missing some of y'all messages. I do apologize. Glaring off into the sunset. But I tell you what, man, it's hard to say who's a top dog, because what are we judging it on, you know? That's the hardest question about it, is what are we judging it on? Are we judging it on motherfuckers' opinions? And y'all excuse my mouth, but I'm probably going to be ratchet this morning. And are we judging it off of structure? Are we judging it off of structure, performance, ability, health? You know what I'm saying? Accordance to breed type. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know, I mean, for real, Jake Paul ain't shit. That's nonsense. It's all nonsense. And if you even, okay, I'm going off a dog, but we're going to go to the boxing real quick. We're going to talk Jake Paul. Jake Paul, even, and he's an Ohio boy, so I show him a little bit of love because they Ohio boys, and I got to always show my Ohio guys some love. But I tell you what, you know, when you go into the ring and you're beating people with a looping left hand, looping left hand, looping left hand, I don't even know how he beat, you know what I'm saying, whatchamacallit, the UFC dude. I don't even know how he got caught with that looping left hand. It's like, in actuality, I've watched every fight he has. The only punch he can truly hurt you with is a looping over the top left hand. So it's two ways to really negate that. Step to it and crowd it so he doesn't have room to do it. Earmuff so he's not, because of how he's knocking people out with that. It's a badass punch. I've knocked a few people out with it, but the thing of it is a lot of times I only knocked somebody out with it twice. But the way, I don't throw that punch. I do throw a right hook, but what happened is I looped it because I was sort of off balance. I was getting out of the way of some of their shit, and I was fading, and I looped it to try to get around because I wasn't tight enough to really get some torque on it in the front. He throws it naturally, and I think it catches a lot of people off guard. It's really a haymaker, but it catches a lot of people off guard because it's not a normal punch. And if that punch catches you right behind the ear, you're gone every time. You know what I'm saying? Every time. So, you know what I'm saying? Jake Paul and them, they do. It reminds me of the bully world. Is that they got great marketing. You know, they're very, very great marketers. They're great promoters. They're great entertainers. I think the road stops is the very first time you put them in the ring with real fighters. When you put them in the ring with somebody who knows what they're doing, you know, it's not going to be good for them. But I tell you one thing though, they're better fighters than most people think. I see people on YouTube talking about, I'll knock one of them boys out. No, you won't. You know what I'm saying? If they training with professionals on a regular basis, and you sitting at home on your couch never throwing any punches besides in the schoolyard or in prison, you probably ain't got the best chance of knocking them out. But you know, with the dog thing, you know, it's so opinionated. We don't have real rules anymore. You know what I'm saying? You know, we don't have. Yeah, I used to box back in the day, man. I ain't gonna get on boxing talking. I've been getting on your nerves if I talk boxing. But yeah, I boxed from the time I was 8, off and on till I was like 22, 23. You know what I'm saying? I actually got paid for it a little bit. Not my thing though. You know, now I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I still got a little in the tank though. Don't get caught slipping. But you know, popularity contests is it's always going to be debatable. That's why we had rules in this thing. You know, if you're judging off of the breed standard. What's going on, Dr. Dustin Hawkins? Butter Brown, what's going on? Peace and blessings. I tell you what, you know, we can't get there because even as Kenneth put up that thing, and I think, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, he was comparing Waffle House to Rocco. It's impossible. You can't compare the two dogs. You know what I'm saying? You can't compare the two dogs. And the reason, what's going on, CC? Much love as always. But the biggest problem with with trying to compare those dogs is one fits the form and the nature of a true American bully. The chiseled head, it has the American bully look. The other one looks like an American bulldog. Let's just be realistic. One is actually a very great producer, and I'm not being biased. I'm just telling you the facts. Waffle House is a great producer for what he produces because it fits the standard. His dogs have proven the test of time to be pretty healthy. Overall, me giving a what's going on, Shalina? I was wondering where you was at. You all overseas and stuff. But you know, it's tough because for those of us who are real dog people, we're going to judge the dogs totally on one thing. And then as we judge the dogs on other things like who likes you, who your dog's a beast, all this shit that we see, the little fire emojis, like most of these dogs wouldn't be, I mean, if it just turned into a fire emoji contest, that you know, they're gonna win every time, you know. And this is why I said it needs to be a total separation of the breed, period. Because I mean, let's just say these dudes are fucking clowns. I'm not biting my tongue no more. Yes, I posted up some dogs that died. If you that much in your feelings about it, you know, mother had you, motherfuck you. Because at the end of the day, you're breeding dogs that you know are gonna die. If you are out here at this point and you are breeding dogs off of Rocco, you are breeding dogs that you know are gonna die. Period. Period. If you are a heavy Dax breeder and the leading blood in your pedigrees is Dax, and you're trying to double and triple down on Dax dogs, you are breeding dogs that you know are going to die. You are no better than any of the other dog abusing motherfuckers in the world. It's just that simple. We cannot at any point in time play around and act like we don't see what's going on out here in this community. These dogs are dying. I posted up and I said, I didn't say that Grim died. I didn't say that Rocco died. I said Grim and Rocco, Grim/Rocco blood. These were 6 studs in a 3-month span. And these are just the 6 studs that were pretty popular on the Good Morning from Hawaii. But these were dogs, and I have to talk to you. I really have to talk to you. I got plans. That's why I keep saying I have to talk to you, but they jacking up these weeks. But I tell you, you know, that you cannot under any circumstances compare these two worlds in the way that real breeders are thinking and the way that other breeders are thinking. And I call them breeders, you know what I'm saying? Oh, much love out there in Cali. We coming. We are coming. Now, this is the biggest problem. This is one of the things that is going to be an issue in regular dog breeding, right? You have those with a purpose. And I'm saying this in truth. You have those with a purpose to create a better dog. You have those who are willing to sacrifice time, sacrifice money, sacrifice, you know, many different things to make sure that the breed is going to, you know what I'm saying, is going to do what we do, you know? And I'm sorry when I start missing y'all messages. It's a head positioning thing, but then you have those who are strictly in it for money, and you see this. And I'm telling you right now, I know some people will get offended, you know, but if you are breeding that shit and it's proving, these are 3 studs under 3 years old, popular studs, 6 studs that all died in a 3-month span off the same blood. Y'all telling me that all of the owners, and that was just the ones we talked about, but y'all telling me that all of their owners are super terrible owners and they don't feed them and they don't treat them well and they don't do, that would be full of shit. We see them show up and the dogs are fat as hell. They're being fed a lot. They're being, you know, they come with a mandatory cooling cape. Even you have Khan who made a video, and if y'all think I'm lying, look up the video where he's talking about all the things that you need to keep the dog cool and to keep the dog together and from falling apart and dying, which was already a red flag. So, you know what I mean? He's giving you his value pack of how his blood doesn't die. You know how to keep his dogs from dying on the spot. But yet and still, people are breeding this shit. The dogs are ticking time bombs. They are going to die. You want to spend $10,000, you want to spend $5,000, you want to spend $2,000 on a defective product, that's on you. This man made a video telling you all the stuff you need just to keep the dog from dying. You see these dogs dying. Y'all the ones who called everybody haters when we was talking about Cash damn near dying, trying to do a stack off. A couple months later, he's dead. Died choking on his own vomit. In his sleep. Supposedly, that's the story. Died choking on... Y'all think that's natural? Y'all think that that's normal for a dog to just... a 3-year-old dog, or however old he is, a 2 or 3-year-old dog, to die laying in the bed, unfortunately, with his owner's child, just choking on vomit and dying. But y'all think this is normal. Y'all promote this shit. Look how big he is. Look how... Come on, man. It's stupidity at its greatest. And the thing of it is I know I'm preaching to a bunch of deaf ears, because you son of a bitches singing this shit with Dax for years. I told y'all about Dax from the beginning, and I told y'all right now as we sit here today, y'all, all the greatness that y'all claim that Dax had and this, that, and the other, y'all can't even name 10 of his popular sons that are living as of today on a dog who had 4,000 or 5,000 puppies. Y'all can't even tell me 10 of his so-called best sons, or whatever the case may be, that are still living and walking the earth. You can't do it. You cannot do it. You know why? Because the majority of Dax's best kids died well before they were 5 years old. I told y'all this. It's facts now. It's years later. It's facts now. Only thing that y'all have off of Dax is grandkids, great-grandkids, great-great-grandkids. Y'all have all that. Y'all don't have direct offspring for the most part. It's a few like Lucky that have survived the test of time. But if you can't name me 10 dogs that are strong, nice dogs that are living off of a dog that had 4,000 or 5,000 dogs years later, that shows you. It's a problem. It's a fucking problem. But yet, you still have people, Dax line, Dax line, Dax line, Dax line, Dax line. Nobody hated Dax as much as they hated the situation. Nobody Dax as much as they hated the fact that those of us who actually are breeders and know about breeding knew that adding those type of genes were going to be a ticking time bomb to the breed, especially with all you garbage ass breeders who turned around and bred it to everything. He had 5,000 puppies. Most of his kids had hundreds to thousands of puppies. That spread through the damn breed like COVID-19. That's what happened. That's what we were scared of back then. That when all of y'all was selling out and y'all listened to Ed Shepherd, God rest his soul, but y'all listened to Ed Shepherd go on there and say, oh yeah, breed what you like. It's a breed what you like thing. It's a breed what you like thing. No, in no breed of dogs is it a breed what you like thing. It's a standard for a reason, you dumb fuck. It's a standard for a reason. All y'all to keep preaching that, you dumb fucks. It's a standard for a reason. I don't care who gets offended at what I am saying. I've been saying this shit now for, 11, 12 years, and I was saying it before then. It just wasn't on video. Y'all killed the breed by not caring about the breed. All these clowns that sit up and they super thugged out, and man, look, ain't nobody caring about y'all talking shit. Ain't nobody cared about y'all little threats. Y'all dogs is fucked up. And if y'all in the same condition as y'all dogs, y'all shouldn't be threatening nobody, because the fight gonna go 3 minutes and your ass gonna have a heat stroke and fall out. It's just that simple. Y'all angry and this and that and the other. I'm naming off y'all dogs that are dead. Miyagi has died 46 times. Miyagi, we have seen Miyagi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they changed colors. Miyagi had different color patterns. He's been a tri, he's been a dark blue, he's been damn near black. He was 17 inches, he was 14 inches. He had white paws, he didn't have no white paw. Miyagi done died 56 times. We have seen it over and over again. Now they saying that they cloning Miyagi because they didn't went so far on with the lie that after they said that Miyagi you know what I'm saying, was still living, and we knew that this dog didn't die 67 fucking times, that we gonna turn around and act as if it was something going on. No, we know now we gonna clone him. We gonna clone him because after he died the 75th time, people start catching on to it and realize, hey, maybe this ain't the same fucking dog. And people start posting up pictures of different, a collage of, look at all the different Miyagis, and that dog died 87 fucking times, and y'all people just keep on talking about Miyagi. Y'all ever notice it's never been a official death warrant that the fucking dog ain't never died? Miyagi is they should have named his ass Machiavelli, because this fucker keeps coming back, and he comes back with a different look every time, whatever is hot. Next thing you know, Miyagi gonna come back 3 inches with no legs, and he morphed into something else. That dog done died 99 times, and I don't want to be here for the 100th time that his ass died. I am tired of his shit. And you people, this dumbass drive out in a Rolls Royce and talk about, now we're going to clone him. Why would you clone a dog that has died 113 times? The fuck is wrong with you? We gonna clone him. What we trying to do? Go into double death? We trying to go into some Mortal Kombat shit. The triple death stage. What are you talking about? How could you clone death? They got some new shit going on. I thought you were trying to make something living. You gonna clone death. Of all things, this is what we gonna do. Only in the American bully world do you clone death. Literally clone death. And it was bad enough when they brought out Miyagi and they posted. Did y'all ever see that shit? They put Miyagi up on the fucking step, and they put his little ass on the step, and he come out looking like a little tiny Jabba the Hutt. This fool tried to take one step and rolled down the steps like a damn loaf of bread. Is this what we doing? And Miyagi's died 152 times, and then we made Miyagi, and we finally figured out he can't die 153rd time. So we have to make sure that now we cloning death. The American bully has innovated something. We are cloning death, because I guarantee you, they gonna clone. They talking about, we got the Miyagi clone. I hate to tell y'all, ask them for an update. The damn clone died, y'all. I hate to tell y'all, the clone is dead as we speak. You cannot clone. What did you think? You was gonna clone bad? Ask them for an update. Ask them for a damn update of the clone. If y'all notice, the clone video came out almost a year ago. We have not seen one update of this 250,000. The motherfucker died. They cloned death. Y'all better call Guinness and anybody else. And I ain't talking about the beer. I'm talking about the ones with the world record. But call the beer company too, because a lot of motherfuckers need to drink if y'all believe in this. Because he died. They cloned him, drove to the spot in a damn Rolls Royce, cloned death, and the motherfucker died on the way home. Rolls Royce was so mad about that. Rolls Royce is like, well, damn, you couldn't have picked a Camaro to take this little motherfucker and die in. They should have just drove him to the Clinton. They should have just drove to pick up their clone in a damn hearse. They should have just went straight there in a hearse and said, you know what? We know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. We know what's going to happen. And so now y'all want to be upset with me because I post up all the dogs that's dead. Stop making them. You son of a bitches keep posting these dogs with all these wings on their back. Wings on their back. I go to Wingstop and they tell me I can only get thighs because you motherfuckers didn't put all the wings on your little dead ass dogs. I don't give a fuck about y'all dead dogs. I gives two more fucks about your dead dog than you did when you decided to keep on recreating dead dog. They being born dead, and 13 seconds later they died. Miyagi, you damn right, Doctor. Miyagi has died 214 times. But I'm the one. I'm the one. You have, and let me tell you how dumb these little special education dumb fucks is. They actually come at me and they be like, you killed me. You know what? You always got something to say with your old ass dog. Look, special ed, the whole point of life is to live. If the worst thing that you gonna say to me is that my damn dog is old, while your dog then died 237 times, if that's the best that you can give me, your old ass dog, well, let me be so fucking lucky. Let me be so lucky. This is the weirdest. You are the dumbest little. I am telling you, this is a reflection of the society that we see. You see these little motherfuckers running around with their pants down to their knees, and they showing you their little fucked up drawers, and they got tattoos everywhere. And when they talk, they just be mumbling like them little motherfuckers on Sesame Street. This is who is breeding. Take the purple shit out the cup. Take the purple shit out the cup. Pull your pants up and listen. Life is the way. Life is the way. Don't get me wrong. I sip a little bit, but you motherfuckers done sipped all your brain cells out when y'all at the spot. And we didn't see. I'm just recapping. Good damn it. I'm just recapping. Has anybody seen Mr. Beans? He dead too. He dead too. I'm just gonna put on my good suit and my Jordans, and I'm gonna preach a sermon for all these little dead ass dogs, because they all dead. And if your dog die, and don't get me wrong, because some great dogs have died this year, rest in peace to the one and only Sway. Incredible. Rest in peace to the record breaker Mufasa. Incredible. Rest in peace to the one and only Mr. Bistro. But I'll tell you something. If you average out those dogs' age, their average age is like 11 or 12 years old when they die. It's okay to die, but at least live. This is the purpose. Mr. Beans, he ain't around no more. Y'all don't believe that. Casablanca, you know what? You ain't never seen Casablanca. It should be a damn shame a name Casablanca. I can see Bashar with them little tight ass jeans. Casablanca, and he's you stop that damn lying. Bashar has to have so many dogs because they die. This motherfucker literally went on a video one day and said, I own 6,000 dogs worldwide. You have to own 6,000 dogs worldwide when you got 600 a day dying, motherfucker. You got to keep up. But this is death. Y'all think I'm bullshitting. Look at the numbers. I don't agree with cloning Bistro. I don't agree. Why? ¿Por qué? Why? Why in the fuck do you got to clone something that you've had for 8, 9, 10 years, and you've had a masterful, great dog? You are a breeder. You've made other great things off of it. Why would you have to clone anything? People ask me this all the time about cloning Denzel, and you know what I'm saying? For what? Me as a breeder, my objective is to take the blessing that was a great dog, use skill and dedication, and make a greater dog. I am not trying to go to a lab with a motherfucking tube and try to bring back something that I have accomplished 15 years ago. That is literally one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. Cloning. No. It's stupid. But these are the things that these people want you. You know why? Because everything's a gimmick. You know, it's a gimmick. I've told y'all this a million times, and don't y'all get me wrong, but y'all see, you go to the car spots and you see these guys, and they have the cars, and they put, you know what I'm saying, $15,000 on the rims. Let me put 20 more thousand on the paint job. I got the beats in the back. I redid the interior. I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that. How much you got into that, homie? And homie sitting there with all the pride in the world, like, man, I got 120 into this motherfucker. And he just sitting there, and then somebody pull up in a motherfucking big S-Class. And it don't matter how many paint jobs or how many wheels that you put on the Hyundai Sonata, it will never look like that S-Class. It will never have the feeling of an S-Class. You can take your Chrysler 300 and you can freak that motherfucker every way you want to. You can put your paint job can flip-flop, pop lock, and drop dead like the rest of these dogs, and it ain't gonna never, ever be a Phantom. Isn't that interesting? Phantom. Talking about death, and then brings up the Phantom. But this is it. These people are idiots. A collection of idiots. You know what I mean? A collection of idiots. They have taken away the sport that we love. This sport is about us using our skill and their genetics to make better dogs. It's just that simple. You know, I did an interview That was a tough interview too, because I do speak Spanish, but I'm not great at speaking Spanish. So it was a tough interview. But that was one of the things. Like, you know, one of the big questions was, you know, first we had the question about the Bulldogs being at the start of the breed. No, they weren't. And then we had, you know, the question about this type of thing, like why, you know, recently it was some talk about Little Row, and would I, you know, what would I do with my Little Row straws and different things like that, and why would you want to bring dogs back from the past, and talking about breeding backwards. Let me tell y'all something about breeding backwards. It's no such thing. It's no such thing. I told y'all, and I'm not going to start talking about pimping and tricking and all that shit, but I told y'all before what a trick is, you know what I'm saying? And the whole point of a trick is that they get you, that's why they get called a trick, is because they're getting tricked into buying something that's really free, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's nonsense. And this is the thing, when we do what we do here, we have an objective to make something better. Their whole idea of talking about breeding backwards, if I could go back in time and get Michael Jordan and bring him to the game today, would I be pushing the game backwards? If I could take an athlete like Jim Brown, who's now 84 years old, one of my favorite athletes of all time, I think he's 83. But anyway, if I could bring him back, and in his day, Jim Brown, standing at 6'2", damn near 6'3", 230 pounds, was rumored to run at that time, without all the technology that we had. What's going on, T. Lottie? But without all the technology we had, he was rumored to run in the 4.3, 4.4 area. Today, if you took a running back at 6'2", 230 pounds, running a 4.3, 4.4 with amazing running ability, and I brought that back 60 years later, would I be taking the game of football backwards? Greatness from any era is great. The idea that take said cloning, but the idea that you can mess up something by bringing something great in, this is the marketing way to make you think that something is wrong. Marketing makes you think that the years deteriorate value. Years don't deteriorate value. Lack of quality deteriorates value. I tell you right now, I could take a collection, and I'll tell you my collection of dogs right now, today. They talk all that shit because y'all wanted to go there. They talked all that shit. I will tell you a collection of dogs that are, let's just say, we'll make this fair, that would be 10 years or older today against their so-called great studs today. And that's right, you put Rocco's punk ass and Brim and Grim and all the other trash. You can put Blue in there. I don't give a fuck. You can put them all in there. I give you my shit. This is it. You give me Paco. This is my team, my Bully Avengers. Of course, we starting off with Hallie and Paco. You give me those two. You give me Remy. And yes, I'm taking Remy. Y'all can say classic all you want to. I'm talking about an 87, 88 pound dog that had size, that had fire, that had excellent conformation, that, you know what I mean? I'm putting him in there. You give me King Kamali. I'm putting him in there. You give me Master Shifu, I'm putting him in there. I will make a dream team that will go in there and destroy these dogs. Y'all want some size? I give you Pokemon. He will destroy these dogs. Come in with better conformation and size, because they keep on talking as if these dogs were small. Give me Nemesis. I will give you a 100-pound dog with a gigantic head, with flawless conformation, and one of the prettiest faces in there. Everything is not about making your dog fat. Believe that. If you go to the beach and you got you a nice little gut and a motherfucker walk by with a six-pack, it makes you rethink size. I am telling you, I could bring back some old dogs that would destroy that. Paco's brother, Toxic, was actually a bigger dog. Toxic probably borderline 100 pounds, because I know Paco, even on that 16-inch frame, y'all got to remember, these pockets back in the day had size. So Paco was well into the 80s. He was well into the 80s. Marco never said what his weight actually was, but he was well into the 80s. Trust me, I know that, because Hallie was into the 80s, and he was every bit as big as her. Toxic, who in my opinion was more of my style. I'm not going to say the better dog. That would be the wrong phrase. But Toxic was Paco with more size. Toxic was probably a 100-pound dog, would destroy this shit in the ring. You know why? Because he brought the size, he brought the characteristics, he brought everything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna take, it's a blast from the past, but he's still right here. Give me Mufasa. You give me Mufasa, I run through this shit. And the saddest thing in the ABKC, you punk son of a bitches, y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Mufasa should have been the banner dog for him and the bear. They got the most disrespect out of any dogs in the breed's history. I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. Them two dogs, Mufasa and the bear, got the most disrespect out of any dogs in breed's history. And the simple fact is because I know y'all gonna try to pull that shit. No, it's what the people want. Bullshit. Your breed has your registries have an obligation to push dogs that are the prototype of that breed as an example of what everyone else is supposed to be breeding or shooting for. The bear should have won the Nationals 3 times. Let's get it together. The bear was robbed in Chicago. They brought the bus up off of the couch. The bus was well out of its prime. The bear should have won that one. They fuck around and they give it to the bear. Then they come back and they pick the one dog. The one boy, I forget his name. The farm boy, the Dax boy that got the real long back. They robbed him again. It's a side shot that shows in the front they are very, very equal. The side shot, it was over. That dog had a damn limousine. He was living on a limousine in a dream. Long ass back, threw his whole symmetry and his conformation off, made him thin and everything. I said, well, damn. Well, damn. Well, damn. Yeah, Samson. Samson's way too long. Samson is that's dildo back. That boy was fucking up the game with that long back. He came in there and won that championship with a long back. His symmetry was over. I'm telling you, as a judge, at no time in the history of bulliedom would I have ever picked a dog with a back that damn long. It don't make no sense. What was he supposed to be? The Escalade ESV or some shit? That was terrible. The bear should have won 3 times, and it is an absolute tragedy that Mufasa never won. Mufasa, now think about this. This is how stupid, you know what I'm saying, them dumb son of a bitches is, and they let politics go on. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm out here today. I'm out here today. So if they want to talk about me, if they want to see, please tell them they can get at me. I don't give 2 shits. You know what I mean? If they kill me, y'all just make sure y'all clone me. Now that they cloning death, y'all just bring me on back so I can talk some more shit from what Adele say. Hello from the other side. You damn right. I'm gonna be tuning in from the other side, still talking shit about they dogs. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm telling you, this is it. Not only did the bear get robbed all them damn times, Mufasa. This doesn't make sense. And yes, it's raining, so y'all hear some rain for a second. I'm sorry. But Mufasa, think about this. The most dominant dog in breed history, because the grand champions, this is it. If you're a grand champion, that means you have reached the pinnacle of where you're supposed to go in your breed. This dog has broke the record. This dog broke the record. Mufasa broke the record for show wins in the grand champion class. It'll never be matched. He dominated the grand champion class. And the thing of it is, when you pushing up on 100 grand champion victories, that means you travel everywhere. I seen him in New Orleans. He was right down there on the spot on the corner. I think Mufasa was getting some of that money as a street performer. I seen him right down there in New Orleans, best dog in the house. He walked by Rocco, and Rocco curled his tail and literally didn't want to show. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And y'all see, I ain't getting off the ground. Ain't nothing. I told y'all about that before. Rocco curved out. Me and Val laughed because you could see Rocco's body language change when Mufasa came around. He started tucking his tail and lowering it down. And I'm like, look at this bitch. Big ass dog. And everybody would tell y'all they had to drag the dog around the ring all the time. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth about it. There ain't no American bully. fuck. I wouldn't. I don't care what y'all think about me. I would never, ever, ever put a dog on a leash that I got to drag. Ain't no dragging. You drag me. You pull me. You pull me. If you ain't pulling me, I don't want no parts of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Deshaun Watson. If you ain't pulling me, I don't want no. Yeah, some of y'all ain't gonna get that one, but whatever. But it is what it is. How could you be the greatest winner in history? Bistro was another one. They wouldn't let him win. I'm going to tell you why Bistro didn't. I'm going to tell you why all of them didn't win. First of all, the Bears crew, they made the key mistake of not trying to join the ABKC family. They didn't want to kiss and hug and be friendly with the ABKC people. They didn't want to pay their way in and all of that, or he would have been the banner dog. They would have put him on the screen. He would have been this is the one I love, and we're going to push the bear. He didn't do that. It was no coincidence that the week before, or a couple weeks before, y'all tell me how this looked. A couple weeks before, the bus, who had not shown in a couple years, basically, and was somewhere sitting on the couch, ABKC representatives and a couple people who wasn't affiliated with the ABKC go out to California and do a sit down and a big interview with Rob and you know what I'm saying, and the bully camp out there. Y'all tell me. So then out of nowhere, I think it was Rob's anniversary or something like that, or his wife's birthday or something like that. They skipped this, come out of nowhere and decide to show the dog again. He obviously, and don't get me wrong, when I tell you the bus was a nice dog in his prime, he was a nice dog in his prime. But dogs are just like people. They have their best years. He was obviously not the best dog, and this is why people were so upset about that decision. The bear was by far the best dog in the house that day. It was another dog, and I forget who he was. He was very nice too, but it wasn't the bus that should have won that show. But you once again saw the politics. Oh, Nick, yeah, he definitely should have. They should have took him to dinner, a little bit of weed, and you know how they go. I don't know how much the Nationals cost. We know that the championship cost $1,500. I don't know how much the National. You probably had to pay about $5,000 for that one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the bus definitely had a high rear. You know. I could break them down, but the bus shouldn't have won the show. It's no slight at Rob. I love Bistro. I love Bistro's blood. I love a lot of things that their camp did. But just being fair at that show, he was not the best show on that. I mean, he's not the best show dog at that day. It's just that simple. But they couldn't let the bear, because if the bear had won 3 ABKC Nationals, it's like he really takes it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not kissing y'all ass, but I'm just going to take it. And I'm going to tell y'all who they found out that could be a huge mistake with. And I'll tell y'all why. This was the thing, and those who have been around know why. In 2000, I'm just going to be totally transparent with y'all. Y'all know me. I'm no damn good citizen. So I was locked up. They threw my ass in jail. I had acted a fool enough, pulled enough guns, acted enough fools. They locked my ass up, y'all. They sent me away. So I was getting the national details on the prison phone. You know, I had hang up every 15 minutes, call back type shit. So at this point in time, they had still, back then, it was still a situation where the Nationals, we're not going to fix the Nationals, you know, and plus it was Ron Ramos, and Ron Ramos was always very, very strong on the fact, we'll talk about Ruger again in a minute. Hold on, we'll talk about Ruger, because I'll tell you about that. But Ron Ramos was, and y'all might have seen my other live, but I'll explain that. Ron was always very strong on the fact that I'm Ron Ramos. You know what I'm saying? I'm Papa Pitt. You don't tell me what dogs to pick. When I'm in the ring, everybody's coming to see Ron pick the best dog. He was always on that. That's one thing I say about him. Now, his personal taste and other stuff he was doing with other dogs, that ain't none of my business, you know. But you know, Ron always was. He was about his integrity in that ring of picking the right dog. So Denzel shows up. I don't think that they thought that Denzel was going to show up to Nationals. He gets in the ring. This is the biggest Nationals to this day, by far. It's the biggest Nationals ever. I'm talking about probably by double. And even old Bully the Kid, you know what I'm saying, he put that down. Yeah. GP Bulls, you know. But they went in there, and Denzel started moving through the ranks. And when they got to the best American bully, Denzel wins the Nationals as the best American bully. Now, at that point in time, you know, they asked, and Ron went on record. This is facts. Ron went on record and said up until that time, you know, which of course he's seen other dogs since then, but he said if there was a pocket American bully, Denzel was supposed to be the pocket American bully. That's how Denzel won the 2010 ABKC Nationals, biggest show ever. You know, destroyed a lot of great dogs in there. A lot of great dogs was at that show. You know, that's why I still say, you know what I'm saying, to me it was the best Nationals win ever, when you got the strongest class and you pulled through and against all odds. Because I had been, y'all remember before that, it was, you know, these motherfuckers came with guns. Before I went to jail, they came with guns and was all scared at a show. You know what I'm saying? So they knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? It was beef. But they let the judge pick, and he picked the best dog, and I won. And I think at that time, in Dave's mind, he thought that was like, okay, well, he picked the winner, so T gonna chill out. Nope. I blasted the fuck out of their ass after I took the award. I got home probably about maybe 6 months after he won the championship or whatever, and I was still talking the same shit. And I was talking worse, because after sitting down for a little minute and I came out, the dogs had got worse. You know, next thing I know, you had little Shar-Peis and Labradoodles and all kind of shit running around the ring. I said, hold on, this is not the shit we made. And that's how Bully Rants started. Because it started with me just blasting their ass on Facebook, and I still ain't the most technologically sound person in the world. So, you know, I had just figured out, if you watch the very first Bully Rants, and then all you got to do is put in Bully Rant 1. But, you know, you can see I wasn't that comfortable talking or nothing. I wasn't even that comfortable. I was probably like the old people when you FaceTime them and they be like, is this thing on? I was like that. But, you know, but I had to get my point across. But they knew they made a huge mistake, because they was like, you know, they learned from me, this food can't be bought. And I'm going to tell y'all, for all of y'all who be like, oh, you just jealous, I was offered to, first of all, I was one of the original owners of the ABKC. Walked away from that. Dave was on a live, and everybody seen it, where he wanted me to come back, and he wanted me to to work with the ABKC. He was going to make me a head of one of the departments, and we talked about a little bit of everything from me being the basically the president to the head of judges. We talked about everything, and that fell apart just because I wanted to fire everybody. You know what I'm saying? And this was at a time when me and Dave was still good. I was like, well, if we're going to fix this shit, we got to fire at least, you know what I'm saying, half of these motherfuckers got to go. Probably 75% of them got to go, because they all corrupted. They taking payments. They doing this. They doing, hold on, T, we can't do that. Because I was coming strong. I was like, but he did, to his credit, when I told him I wanted to get rid of the extreme class, he did get rid of the extreme class. He fucked it up, because he let the extreme dog stay. I told him to pull all their paperwork and fix the breed right off top, get rid of all the bad genes. But I ain't never had to be jealous of shit, because y'all don't understand me. I'm that person that'll burn the whole damn house down and don't give a shit. I don't need to be a part of nothing when it comes to an infringement on my values. And I value the American bully breed. I value animals. I value health. I value people. And to me, to see people, it's a twofold for me. To see people who get these dogs. And I've been in this situation, not to get soft on y'all, but it hurts. It hurts a little bit. I've had people call me, and y'all know I got a decent following, so I've had people call me, and dog, when you hear another grown man on the phone choked up and crying because he got to put this fucking dog down, and the dog is still a puppy, multiple times. One time I remember an individual had a dog, and he called me, and he man, the brother was crying, man. The dog was 18 months. I'll never forget this. I was still living in Tampa at the time. The dog was 18 months, and it was a Dax dog, and his hips was so debilitated that the vet said, we just got to put him down. Now, this man was crying. Like, I mean, he was crying, you know, and all I could do is, like, I had to go from dog guy to just being a human being and telling the brother, like, damn, you know, it's all right, man. You know, these type of things happen. But it was sad, you know, because, you know, I'm not one of those stone cold hard mugs that say, mother juckers, that says that you can't, you know, be emotional or whatever shit. You know what I'm saying? I cried like a baby when Hallie died, you know.
it's just one of those things that you hear another grown man crying, and this dog is 18 months, and he got to go down. Another brother, and I'm just being real with y'all, another brother from out there in Iowa, he had a dog that was 6 months old that, he got from Bashar. The dog got the dog home, everything. He said he had some breathing issues. He come from home from work. One day the dog's in the thing, dead, dead. So he tells this clown about it. The clown sends him another dog. As soon as the dog gets there, this dog has a super bad case of pneumonia getting off the plane. This was one of the things that sparked that investigation into Bashar falsifying the medical records. Yeah. This was what sparked Bashar falsifying the medical records, because they were figuring, like, he kept sending people dogs, and y'all saw the condition of his kennel, but he kept sending people dogs, and these dogs would actually have, health issues getting off the bus, basically. So a lot of people start putting two and two together, like, dog, these records cannot be real. So they start calling the clinics and stuff that he was claiming that this was from, and the people's like, no, we didn't give this, that, and the other. And yeah, Bashar actually did get in some legal trouble about falsifying medical records. It's the same reason if y'all I don't know if they arrested him, but I know he got a charge. Somebody said they arrested him. I don't want to be a liar, but I've heard he got arrested about that and literally had to have his lawyers shake out and pay some fines and shit. But also, y'all wonder why I got an individual that sent me all that stuff. I don't even remember if I posted it or not. But those guys over in England that he sold 3 dogs to for damn near $100,000, and the country, they have a different process. They told him to put the dogs down. The vets told him to put the dogs down. A fifth degree heart murmur on one of the dogs. It was multiple issues, some neurological issues, some lung issues, some heart issues. And they basically they looking at the United States doctors like, really? Y'all passed this shit? But he falsifies the health records because he knows that he can never ship those dogs if he has to go to a real veterinarian. The veterinarian that he used to use out there in Michigan won't even deal with him. They told him not to come back. He had pumped Casablanca up so full of steroids that, Casablanca was in a failure of a lot of areas. His kidneys and different shit like that was failing on him. His testicles were no more. It was, man, trust me, I could go on for days. But the one thing about it is I won't, because even though, when the lady posted the pictures and showed the world of the conditions and stuff, people still fuck with him. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Look. The reason why people mess with Bashar is for one specific reason. Some people get fooled because they see his alignments with certain celebrities and the registries and different things like that, and they think he's upstanding. But a lot of people do it for the same reason, that anything else salacious, people deal with it. They deal with it because they think they're going to get something out of it. Most people who are buying, and I'm not saying everyone, so I don't want anybody to take it that way, but a lot of people who buy dogs from Bashar Khan and these people they don't like the dogs. They look at it as an investment. They look at it, and I'm gonna tell you, anytime you're buying a dog and you're spending $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, you're looking at that dog as an investment, unless you are some filthy rich person who just looks at it as another collectible. Because what sense does it make to go out and spend that level of money if it's not going to reproduce and pay for itself? So these people are under the T-Lottie, you crazy. But what sense does it make to pay for something like that if you're not going to rebreed it and keep on trying to put it out there? Just like, he had the rapping dude down there in Australia that's supposed to be paying $4 million or whatever he said is valued. I don't know. I'm still tripping off of who valued the dog at $4 million. I've never heard of a doggy appraiser, but you've got that guy, that if this gentleman paid millions of dollars for a dog, what do you think he's going to do with it? He's not just buying the dog. He had a beautiful setup and everything down there. He's not just buying that dog just to have the dog. He's buying it. You can see he already had tons of kennels ready. He's ready to mass produce and try to get his money back on a major investment that Bashar has talked him into, that he feels like he's going to get rich. This is what he's into. All of this, it's a pyramid scheme. Even Khan and his boys, you know what I'm saying, they talk about it as an investment. This is your 10. You look at Khan's boy Nico, who I actually like Nico, and he is a more straight up dude. He just tell you this is what I do, you know. But at the end of the day, Nico will tell you this is your investment. He does it like a he does it like one of them damn late night infomercials. You know what I'm saying? You paying this amount for this, you're gonna get this back. You're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. You're gonna get this back. You're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, and then you boom, you sell your dogs. You spent 50, you've got 80 off the first breeding, and that's 80 for 3, 4, 5, possibly 6 more breedings. You do the math. You can make $500,000 off of your $50,000 investment. This is why people buy those dogs, man. People is in their mind like, okay, I can invest 50,000, which I got to 50. I can invest to 50, and in a few years that turns into $450,000. That's far better than any other investment that I can make. They're not thinking about the health. They're not thinking about the issues. They're not thinking about everything that comes along with the dog, and they sure as fuck don't give a damn about the breed. The idea that they give a fuck about the breed of the American Bully went out the window when they decided to change the breed. This is why when we go back to our original question of how can we compare the dog, you can't compare a King Kamali to a Rocco. You can't compare a Mufasa to a Rocco. You know, and that was the debate earlier, you know what I mean, where I think my man Ken, I knew what he was doing, but at the end of the day, you can't compare the two, you know? It's like comparing weed smoke and train smoke. You don't inhale one of them motherfuckers, I tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. You know, it's just that simple. Those dogs are a joke. I'm not biting my tongue anymore about it. I've showed y'all 6 dogs that have died off of one particular strand of blood. Supposed to be healthy studs that have multiple litters out here. You know what I mean? Man, yeah, Nick, you know that man got Bashar is the ultimate snake oil salesman. He sold that motherfucker a dream is what he sold him. He ain't selling him a dog or nothing else. He sold him a dream. You know what I mean? I guess we all have sold dreams. You know when you talking to a girl and you really want that girl and you just tell her just a few lies. You know what I mean? You ain't got to really lie, but you know, you ingratiate. You know? He's the ultimate ingratiator. Now, you know, I talked about Mufasa not getting it. I talked about Mr. Beans, you know, in the disrespect level. But you think about it. These are 2 of the greatest dogs that we've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? And some dreams are reachable, but some dreams are just that. You know what I mean? I often dreamed of being 6'5". I don't think it's gonna happen. But Mufasa, as great as he was, is not a great dog in pedigrees anymore. Most people didn't want to use him. You know what I'm saying? They depreciated the value of true American bullies in the eyes of people so badly that most people didn't want to use him, you know? Yeah, most people didn't want to use him. Most people didn't appreciate how great he was. It was a very, very great dog. The bear, you'd be very, very hard pressed to find people talk about he can't produce. That dog can produce, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Hey, I appreciate you, Wing. I appreciate you. But you know, it's a sad. We're at a very, very sad state of affairs, and I've told y'all it's getting catastrophic. And what I mean by that is that the rate that American bullies are dying is faster. I've been saying this for years, and I don't try to act like I'm so smart, but I am pretty smart. When I tell y'all I did do the whole veterinary medicine thing, I did go, you know, I still do seminars online. I haven't done any in the last year, but I do sign up for the online seminars, sitting down and listening to certain things. Actually, you know, something that's pretty strange though, if you ask a lot of veterinarians in your area like, hey, you know, I'm very interested in learning some things, you'd be surprised. Sometimes your vets will show you some love. Your vets will show you a lot of love sometimes. It's pretty cool, you know. But most of these people don't believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Most of these people don't believe in information because information is you know what I'm saying, is crazy, you know. Information is very, very crazy. because information makes you make tough decisions. You know what I mean? It's just like those of us, like me, I love to eat. People are like, you don't even eat. I typically fast all day, but it's for a health reason. You know what I mean? But you know how it is. We love to eat. We see the pounds coming on. We know getting down well we shouldn't be doing that. And some people literally will avoid the doctor because they don't want to avoid, they're avoiding the truth that, hey man, I got high blood pressure. I need to chill the fuck out. I need to stop doing this and doing that. I don't even want to hear what this damn doctor got to say. We avoid it. You know, we avoid the truth in many different ways. You know, many different things that we need to change about our lives. These people don't want to hear about healthy dogs, you know, because we only, think about this, we only get to see what they do put on Facebook. None of us owns these dogs and things. We see them at shows every now and then. They live with these dogs. So could you imagine living with these dogs and your dog is dying in front of you on a daily basis? I would be terrified. You know what I mean? Honestly, I think the supplements, I've always told people this, you know, your basic vitamins, and if your dog is maybe a little underweight, you might need a little bit of dine or something like that to help, because sometimes you do have hard gainers who need to pick up a little bit. But I'm not a big fan of supplements. You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of supplements. Their bodies don't work like ours do. Excess of supplements, I think, is contributing to the death of the dogs, because we're built how we're built by nature. You know what I mean? And dogs are even more so. Dogs are built like they're built by nature. Their weights are set by nature. This is a functioning weight. Generally, if you're feeding a dog a good amount of kibble and you're keeping them on a balanced diet, they're holding a weight that's their body's meant to hold. Now, when you start to add dines, you start to add the liquid golds, the bully maxes, and all the things that that, you know what I mean, that that you get with you know, to put weight on these dogs, you definitely will start to see, you know, the issues that come along. Now, yeah, Warren G died early, and you know, somebody just put up Warren G died early, and it was part of the blood that I don't agree with. You know, I don't agree with. I think when you go extreme, it happens. People sometimes think that they can mix my blood and it'll make another blood better. No, my blood and any of these other bloods that are pretty good, they can't override bad genetics. Our bloods just get infected. That's all. You know, I've had 1 million people, trust me, I could buy about 10 Escalades with all the people that I turn down that want to breed my dogs to certain dogs that I don't agree with. And I tell them no for a good reason, because I know after years and years of seeing, watching, studying, the concept and the idea that you are going to fix bad genetics is a bad concept. Elimination is the best way to go. If you have something in your yard, now minor stuff like a slightly off bite, you know, small stuff you can fix, especially if it's not a history in it. But if it's a history of this in a program, you are not going to be able to fix it. I don't know, and we've seen this in the American bully world. Y'all track the dogs over the last 15 years and see how bad they've gotten. See how much, you know, I used to make fun of this, and not in a malicious way to whatever, but because it's not funny. It's actually sad, but I used to always call Dax the 5-year dog. And when I said Dax was the 5-year dog, I would always say that because no matter who was off of Dax, you know, it was a very high probability that they would be dead by 5 years. It's just the way it worked, because one of the main things that Dax passed on is a bad heart and a bad cardiovascular system, horrible breathing, you know, and most of these people who got these dogs were going to pump them full of supplements. The dogs were going to die. And that was the point I was making earlier, where you cannot find Dax dogs that are living because they die. This is not like a sales pitch. If y'all notice, I've not asked you to buy shit off me. I don't even have to advertise dogs for real, for real. People call me so much about dogs. I wish I had more for them, but you know, it is what it is. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Now, the crazy part is you can start to call Rocco the 3-year dog, because it seems like more and more all of his dogs that are off of his blood seem to have a struggle to make it to 3 years old. A lot of them are checking out at right around 3 years old or younger. This continuously happens over and over and over again. And this is genetic. This is not something you're going to fix. It is not, hey, take a Rocco dog to some of Pratt's blood or take it to Oscar's blood and let's fix it up and see. No, all you are doing is destroying a good blood that already has very, very good genetics and is working properly. You are infecting it with bad genetics. You are infecting it with the, yeah, it's a Dax pandemic. Y'all know it's a damn Dax pandemic. That pandemic happened before the damn COVID. That's what they should have named the Grim COVID. They should have. This is what they're doing, you know. And the saddest part about it is that it's destroying the community in more than one ways, because you have these people who have a real excitement to come into the breed. You have these people who have a real excitement and they're pushing and they're doing this and they're doing that to come into this breed, and they're bringing money with them. They're, you know what I'm saying? It was a dream of ours back in the day, not to get rich, but to have people who had the means. Because let's be realistic. When you have means, you have a better ability to spread the popularity of whatever you have. You know what I mean? And so it was great. Like, okay, we take these dogs out of the hoods and the underground and we get them out to places to where they're accepted, and they start living in the suburbs and people see that they're great dogs and, you know what I'm saying, that they can be a part of families and all of this. The breed will succeed. And that was a dream. We really, really thought that we were going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? What's that, Tashaya? You have a great granddaughter. So let me explain this. If you have a great granddaughter of Dax, do you have Dax blood? Because I always break it down. A granddaughter or a grandson is 25%. A great is 12.5%. So that means 87.5% of the blood is somebody else's. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say a lot of people, Dax's name is so popular that when he pops up in the pedigree, people generally stamp his name over the whole entire pedigree when it's a whole lot of other dogs that are affecting it. Now, if it's multiple times Dax 50%, and I have seen some 50% dogs of Dax that live. Not all Dax's dogs die. Well, you know, it's a story. Oh my God. Y'all just gonna take me down this intrepidous road. It was a dog sold to Mexico that was supposed to be Dax's brother. We've never seen or heard anything about him. The whole mystery of Dax, y'all know what it is. If we gonna play with ourselves, we gonna play with ourselves. You know what I mean? But I don't believe in it. So at the end of the day, it was a brother that was supposed to be a Dax dog, right? He was Dax's brother, supposedly. Never really had the pictures of him, and we know that Dax is not what they say he is. So I think that was another part of the scam. This brother popped up like years later and was sold to Mexico as an adult, but we never saw him as a puppy. I think they felt like if they could ship him out of the country, they could get, you know, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 for him by shipping him out of the country. And that's what they did, you know. You know, poor guy, man. You know, poor guy. And it's sad, you know what I mean, that it worked out that way, you know. Yeah, you know, man, me and Ed Shepherd go way back. That's why I say it's not a beef. Some people be like, they think I got a beef with Ed. Rest in peace, Ed. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, OG. I originally, way back in the day, you know what I'm saying, Ed used to have more edge blood than well, he had a pretty good balance of some edge blood and some Gotti blood. But yeah, I actually got this big boy named Bolo off of Ed. You know what I'm saying? And we fell out about that. You know what I'm saying? I sent Ed the money for the dog. He got the money and he like, oh, can you send me some more? Because somebody offered me more for him if you don't pay me the rest. That was my guy, man. Like I say, I had love for Ed. Ed was what he was. Ed was gonna get that money, man. You know what I'm saying? It was just what it was. It was what it was, you know. And I like, you know what I'm saying? The thing of it is the thing, you know what I'm saying? The thing of it is that my thing when I talk about Ed or any of my brothers that passed in this American bully game is, by you dying, it doesn't change your story. You know what I mean? I've never believed in that. When I die, I want people to I want people to tell it like it is about me. Tell my fault. Better not nobody ever get up at my funeral and get to talking some old dumb shit, talking about, and he was a saint. I bet you I kicked that cat. I'm gonna find it. I got one last kick in me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, Ed was what he was. Everybody knew Ed when he was alive. So, like, this is the thing I will tell y'all. I am not here to slander Ed. I consider Ed a cool ass dude, man. Like I told you, I did business with Ed. I go back to, you know, when he bought 21 Blackjack from Cruz and all that stuff. It was what it was, but at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all said, Ed was an old, you know, Reverend hustler, and it was what it was, you know, and he's no different from a lot of these other guys in here. I think the difference between Ed and Bashar and a lot of these other guys here is that Ed and Bashar is very, very similar in the fact that they was like, hey, I'm here to hustle. This is what it is. Do what you like. It's about getting that money type of thing. Whereas a lot of these other guys come under the false pretenses that they actually love and care about dogs, and they don't. Dave Wilson, you know, that's the difference. If you ask me right now in front of their face, I respect Ed Shepherd and Bashar more than I respect Dave Wilson. And the reason why, and it's not from their actions, trust me, but this is what I'm saying. When it comes to Bashar will look you in your face and tell you, I don't give a fuck about dogs. I'm here for money. If these dogs don't make me any money, I don't care. I'll leave it alone. I don't need these dogs. He will tell you that. He said it on video. He literally says it in the interview. Like, this is a business to me. I don't care nothing about dogs. He will tell you that. So, this is my thing. This damn Larry, man. I'm about through with you, man. Send me the plug for the wine, man. And the difference is that you respect the devil who presents himself as a devil. But that devil that presents himself as an angel is a vicious motherfucker. I tell you that. And that's Dave Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, you know, Dave talks about he's all about the breed, but he's let the breed be destroyed. And at every turn, he's on board with everything that we see going on. And me being an old friend of Dave, it hurts me a little bit more because I'm going to tell you the truth. He's very intelligent. He knows all of the issues that's going on with these dogs. He knows where it's leading. Now, he's very intelligent when it comes to dogs, too. You know, when I tell you Dave knows his shit, he knows his shit. So when he's seen these extreme dogs coming in, and if I'm lying, dog, God, strike me down right now. Dead serious. We had private conversations, me and Dave. I won't put it all out there, but he knew for a fact that the muscle tone dogs broke down. Me and him had a conversation where we talked about, he said, T, I don't know what it is. That's what he always called me, T. But he said, T, I don't know what it is about his dogs. He said, man, at 6 months, they fall apart. It's like it changes. It's like a different dog after 6 months. It's a very unhealthy dog. We had a long conversation about this. Then to see him turn around and start promoting and owning those dogs, it was ridiculous. You know what I mean? Because he knew his influence, but it was about that payout I told y'all. You know, that wolf in sheep's clothing, a bad boy. That's why I really have no respect for Dave, because I know for a fact he knows what how much of a ticking time bomb those is. In private, he will tell you, no, don't get that. Don't do this, don't do that. You know what I mean? No, don't mess with this, don't mess with that. That's why he started talking about going to XLs, because that's his out. You know, I'm gonna start an XL line. That's his way of saying, I don't have to turn my back on my buddy Bashar and those dogs, but I still want to breed dogs again, so I'll go somewhere else and do this. You know what I mean? Beanstalk has a lot going on with him that people don't want to recognize. I'm going to tell y'all, and we make fun of the cyclops eyes. That's a mutation. And what did I tell y'all about mutations? Y'all look into mutations of genetics. They start physically. You know what I mean? They'll present themselves and they'll show shit physically that something is going wrong with the whole hookup. His eyes coming together like that, the overextension of the front of the chest, those are mutations. And trust me, it's inside too. That's why when you have, you know, we make jokes about the hills have eyes and those type of inbred people, where throughout the years when you see inbred people, and especially heavily inbred areas, that they have certain physical shit that's wrong with them. They also have internal shit that be wrong with them, and they typically don't live long lives because, you know, their genetics are all screwed up. What you're seeing from Mr. Beans is just that. You know what I mean? What you're seeing, you know what I'm saying? What you're seeing is just that. It's a lot of issues, you know, and yeah, we talk about Down syndrome, and one of the things is technically in dogs, it's not a Down syndrome, but it is something that mimics it. And anytime that you start mixing and matching DNA, you have chromosome mix-ups, you have chromosome malformations, and different things of that nature. And we talked about the inbreeding is just part of it. If some of you didn't see the other shows, and you can look this up, and I'll give you, you know, the best examples of like, you know, there are certain animals that species wise they can be bred together, but when they're bred together, you start to see things go wrong. And that's like the liger. That's probably the best example. The tiger and the lion being bred together. Species-wise, they can be bred together, but the animal can't reproduce. It often has what, for lack of a better term, like mental issues. They do grow to be a lot larger than the lion and the tiger, but they're not mentally there. Their function is not there. You know, it's something that went wrong in this mixing of genetics. You know, you see it in other animals, like when they you know what I'm saying, when they make the jackass or whatever, you know, they're all born sterile, you know. Yeah, Beanstalk was either produced in I won't say Alabama, he was produced up in the hills of West Virginia. You know what I mean? Now all the people in West Virginia are gonna be mad at me. I don't give a shit. I'm from Ohio. But this is the truth. What we see going on right now in the American bully world is scary. Look, I knew somebody from Alabama was gonna jump in there. but that's why I went with West Virginia. I got too many friends in Alabama. I need to, hey, shit, I need to come to Bama several times for several shows. We ain't got no shows playing in West Virginia. So but I tell you what, you know, the deformities that we're seeing, right? And I thank y'all for being here, man. Please press like, you know, share, subscribe to the page. I was supposed to tell y'all that. If you want to make a donation, it's Cash App TBKC Dogs, DOGS. But I appreciate y'all, man. It's been great for me. But I tell you what, I started a point, and as usual, I always get off topic. But if you look at over the last, say, 10 years of the dogs, you can see the life span has went down greatly. As we see a generation, and I'll use it generationally so it makes more sense. If you look at Bistro, 12 years old at death. Denzel, very old, you know. A lot of Denzel's kids are still living 11, 12 years old now, too. Sway just died, and he was over 10 years old. Mufasa was right around 10 years old. Romeo, his brother, was right around 10 years old. I think I already mentioned Bistro, but you see a lot of them, man. Hey, I appreciate you, fam. Say what? I like how your name is on there. But you know, man, look, it's changing, you know, and this is something serious. I'm gonna be somewhat serious right now when I tell you, like, me as being, I still consider myself a doctor at heart. And for me to see over the years what I've seen, you know, like going back to a dog, you know, popular dog like Remy, you know, seeing Paco and being at Marco's house with Paco and watching Paco run around in 90-degree weather and have no problems. Yeah, Sway died last month. To see some of these great dogs, to see Remy, you know, out there in the sun, in the California sun, and having no problem sunbathing. Remy was another sunbather. To see Monster J, you know, chained to a tree with caution tape all around him. And that day was very hot. I don't know what it was, but it was definitely in the 90s. It was in some good California heat. And that dog was going absolutely apeshit crazy for hours, you know. All he had was a bowl of water. Now, I'm sorry, John Stevens, I ain't want no trouble. But To see those dogs like that, and to go from us having shows to where it used to be exhibits out there to where they would actually be doing protection work with bullies out in the sun, you know, to see that. And that was only, those things were only happening in 2007, 2005, 2004, 2006, 2007. To see that, and then to turn around now and to see us having to have these dogs in all kind of special conditions just to survive, it's scary. That's only a 15-year span that we've seen this breed go totally downhill. And if we push it up, you got to think there was still a lot of very, very nice dogs in that range that lived to be about 10. Sway, California dog, hot weather dog. Mufasa, hot weather dog. You know, he didn't have problems with the condition. Mufasa ended up dying of cancer. Bistro, California dog, lived to be, I think, 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? Denzel has always lived in hot places, you know. Well, yeah, for the most part. He spent a little time in Ohio, but which is cold weather. But you see a change now to where literally, like, the rate of these dogs dying is unprecedented in any breed. I belong to other groups and other pages. To see on a daily basis somebody posting another dog that's dying, a young dog, and to not see people take it serious and start to be alarmed, like, this is not normal. Like, say for instance, if it was people, thank God it's not, but if it was people, and this would be the equivalent of it, and we start seeing people consistently dying of natural causes, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Sway was old. Sway was over 10 years old. Yeah, Sway was over 10 years old. I did a breeding, with Sway that didn't take, by the way, but I did a breeding with Sway 7 years ago. Yeah, or close to it, right around there. Yeah, so Sway was I think 12 years old. Yeah, he got up there. That's why, and you know, Steve Jackson, one of the problems is with these real good dogs, you don't even realize how old they are. You know what I'm saying? Time just slips on by. You know, I had people thinking that Mandela was like a 4-year-old dog. Man, no, you know, it is what it is, you know. But now, you know, if people start dying of natural causes before they were 25, we would be alarmed. Imagine if half of our population just start dying off of natural causes by the time they were 25. It would be hysteria. People would be like, what in the hell is going on? What is wrong? You know, because you got people, you know, well, we supposed to live into our 70s. You know, the average is now, the way things is going with the health and everything, people are living well into their 70s and 80s, no problem. You know, I am blessed to say today I have a grandmother that's 91 years old, very functional and doing pretty well for herself. So if we saw people young dying off like that, we would be alarmed. But because these are quote unquote just dogs, people are not taking it as serious as they should. These dogs should not be dying at this early age. And the scariest part about it, it's not over, because you still see a massive rate of irresponsible breeding. And the saddest part about it is it's gotten even more towards the unhealthy dogs. If you go back, say 6 or 7 years ago, if you go back to, you know, maybe let's say 7 or 8 years ago, you know, you had Denzel in his prime. He was still doing a lot of breedings. You had Ruger. Ruger wasn't doing a lot of breedings, but that camp was doing enough breedings. You know, you had Sway was young and in his prime. You had Bistro and that family was in their prime. So you had a lot of the cleaner dogs that were still in their prime and doing their things. And, you know, you had some good dogs that were holding it down. Now you come into today's time and you really don't see the real American bullies being popular outside. I'm telling you, the one who's really, really carrying the damn torch right now is Waffle House. Without Waffle House and what Waffle House is doing, the game would be very lopsided. Waffle House is right now the popular real American bully stud. You know what I'm saying? Without him, it would be horrible. You know, Jess, I'm glad you feel that way because I wish more people felt like that. And I'll do it. I'll make sure I do it today. But I'm gonna post a plethora of dogs for y'all just to show y'all. Most of my dogs, honestly, are pets. Most of my dogs make it to pet homes, and I do that, you know what I'm saying, intentionally because I want, you know what I'm saying, I want those to do it. I mean, Lucky is the exception, but like I told people earlier, if you give me Dax dogs, which you know I've seen people say as high as 5,000. I know for sure he hit 4,000 puppies. I know that's for sure that the 4,000 were registered under him. But you know what I'm saying, if you give me those numbers, right, and all we can talk about is a few specimen off of one dog that actually survived, it's scary, you know. It's scary, and especially at the rate that they hit when they just start dropping like flies. You know, for a second, as fast as they would announce a Dax dog, it would be gone. We're seeing that with Rocco's stuff right now, and it's being even more populated into the gene pool. This is one of the reasons why other registries close stud books and only pick desired studs on who they wanted to breed to their dogs. It was very, very important for these registries to pick the studs that they wanted to lead the charge, and the females, is because it was quality control. And the American Bully is no quality control at all. You know, it's sad when you think about the American Bully from the ABKC standpoint. As many terrible dogs as we see, there's not very many bad dogs at all. El Toro was a piece of shit. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've seen some of these dogs in person. El Toro was very nice in the front, but if you seen him from the side shot of El Toro, oh my goodness, the rear end was very weak. Horrible top line, high rear. It just wasn't there. You know. He was beautiful from the front though. You know, I think this is where we have lost our abilities at. We've lost our abilities to really understand what a nice dog is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, El Toro, well, he wasn't as nice as he looked in the front shot. It's like Dax. Dax had that one picture, you know what I'm saying, of him from the front, and you would think that, okay, he's a pretty solid dog. And then you get real pictures of him. His neck wasn't as big as they thought it was, and he fell apart after you got past his shoulders. You know what I'm saying? The back was all messed up. His rear was, he was a mess. You know what I mean? But that's what it was, you know? I'm just being honest. It's not to tear down the dogs. I'm giving you, you know, honest evaluations on the dogs. Yeah, El Toro was a lot like Dax. He was a front end dog. That's what he was. If you took that one picture from the front, you could. But I'm gonna tell you another dog. Tell them to give y'all shots of Grim and Brim from the side shots. It's the reason why you don't ever see certain dogs with side shots, because they have limousine backs. You know what I'm saying? And the rears are often high and very, very stiff. You know, Lucky Luciano is a very nice dog. Not perfect, but very, very nice. Very nice. I'll tell you, when I broke down Lucky Luciano, he's beautiful. He's beautiful. I like the dog. I seen him 2016 Nationals. I seen him. That was the same show where Rocco was in there pissing on himself when he seen Mufasa. But Lucky is very nice, very muscular, very proportioned. The only thing I don't like about Lucky, well, the one thing that I can tell you I definitely don't like about Lucky, is that when he moves, and it's not considered a flaw, it's just weird. He moves like he's pulling. So when his gait is not a very natural, smooth, flowing gait. It's almost like he's pulling something. Like he lowers his body a little bit, and but it works for him. You know, it works for him. It's not what I would, it's definitely not what I would want in a gait, but it works for him. And, you know, Lucky is my favorite out of all those dogs. Yeah, Lucky is a very nice dog. And as y'all see, you know, I stay very, very diplomatic in these talks. Lucky is a nice dog. I will not down that dog at all. I've seen him in person. He is a nice dog, man. And by the way I look at it, you know, to me he's the best Dax son. I like Lucky. You know, if I was into using or ever thought about it, I would go that route. Venom, I think Venom is a bulldog. I think Venom is a bulldog. Venom is great promotion, but one of the problems with Venom is that you know what I'm saying, one of the problems with Venom is that it's the same issues. A ton of breathing issues, heart murmur issues, owners telling people that it's okay to breed you know what I'm saying, breed you know, fucked up dogs. You know what I'm saying? You know, that breathing and heart murmur, that ain't that serious. They'll grow out of that. If somebody tells you that the dog is gonna grow out of breathing issues and heart murmurs, just slap the fuck out of them. Just go ahead, just put your hands on them because they was trying to get you. In my yard, I'm gonna tell you, I shouldn't be telling y'all shit about my yard. I am happy. I'm happy. Odell is incredible. You know, Odell is strange. Odell is somehow like a weird, maybe better version because he's bullier than Denzel. It's weird. Like I call Odell all the time Denzel because he reminds you so much of Denzel, especially young Denzel. You know, as Denzel's time is coming to this close, Odell is like the reincarnation. But he's bigger, but he looks so much like him. You know, I think a lot of people are going to miss the boat on Odell. You know, he's amazing. He's amazing. But we have another son, and his name is Tommy. And Tommy is bad. I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold my. I'm gonna tell you like this. I think I mentioned this on a show before, but Tommy is young. You know, Tommy is like six, yeah, somewhere around there, like 6 months. Anyway, Tommy Chung is what I end up naming him. And this dog at 6 months, y'all know I got Jim Brown, which is an Alonzo's son. I love him, shredded muscle, just my type of blood. But I had Jim, Tommy, and Peoples out, right? And they all came to the gate, you know, and the gate at the house, our gate is like steel bars, you know, straight down. And they all stacked up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I got that judge's eye, so I just keep looking, and it's almost throwing me off because the 6-month-old puppy is stacking toe to toe, no problem on the front shot with a year-plus-old dog that I really like. And man, it blew me back. And Tommy, man, Mufasa is Tommy's grandfather. He's 2 times lock and load on the other side. Y'all know how Mandela blood do, so it's heavy. I'm looking at him and I'm liking him more and more, and I just gotta wait. That's all I can say. But I think he can end up being very, 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 very special. Peoples, you know what? When I talk about my set, Peoples is like the El DeBarge of the family. You know what I'm saying? Peoples is just you know what? He's that dog that everybody sees him and they be like, I love him, and they don't know why. It's not like he does have a very nice chest, and his conformation is very, 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 very good. You know what I mean? His tail is a little bit gay, I do believe. You know, I see it sometime and it doesn't, but I do believe it's a little bit, it comes over a little too far. But, you know, and he's still a puppy, but he's so pretty. You know, he's just pretty. He ain't super over-the-top bully. He reminds me a lot of how Suarez's dogs is. Just pretty, and that motherfucker can move. Man, when he get to walking, you just be like, oh, take him to Westminster. Because it's like probably the only one I can say he's got probably Denzel's gait. Because Denzel and Halle, I would always say Denzel, Halle, and Castro had the best gaits that I've seen out of my dogs. You know what I'm saying? He is right there. So, you know, I'm gonna bring some of that Pratt's blood over here, man. I got something going on with Sway and something going on with what's the other one? Honey Badger. Might end up being both Honey Badger. I gotta talk to Pratt's and reach out to him and see what we can get done. soon. But yeah, I definitely want that over here, and I'm gonna eventually do these little row breedings too, which you know. So I'm an old school breeder, but you know, going to a point. I don't want to brag. I done told y'all about timing and shit. That was my secret, but you know, it's a big question that you have to ask, and you have to ask this question. You have to say like, what is it that you like? You know, that's a big key. What is it that you like? Because I like a more athletic dog. And that's what kills me about when people start talking about you're breeding backwards. You're breeding backwards. How am I breeding backwards if I love an athletic build to a dog? Now, when I say athletic, I'm not talking about less muscle. I'm just talking about I like very streamlined. Think King Kamali. King Kamali had those bulging shoulders, ripped up, this, that, and the other. So if I was making a perfect dog, I would have made King Kamali, right? And I would have made King Kamali with about 10 more pounds on him. Still shredded, still ripped, still that chiseled head, still everything, just added 10 more pounds on him. But I think that that's the better dog. I don't believe in these fat dogs. I don't believe in these bulldogs. To me, how can you compare the two? If you like a dog that has a bulldog head, how can you compare it to the true American bully? It's two different breeds, and that's why it's no longer a need to argue with the Grim, Brim, Tim, Jim, and all them motherfuckers. There's no need because they are liking bulldogs. They are liking F1 style dogs, and they don't care about health. So if they don't care about health, they don't care about conformation, they don't care about the standard, it's no need really for us to argue. We are looking at dogs like Remy and Paco and advancements of those type of dogs. How can we really be in a discussion about dogs with people who have that type of stuff? You know what I mean? Yeah, it's sad that they are shaming athletic builds because, you know, but the thing of it is when you're non-athletic, you shame an athletic build, you know? That's the thing. That's like I mean, that's all it is. You know, for them to talk down on King Kamali is ridiculous. For them to start talking down on Paco now is ridiculous. When your dog can't even walk around a building, your dog is fat, out of shape, it can't last, it can't breathe, you know. And like I told you, the mindset is so crazy with these people that they really talk down on people who have old dogs. It doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, I'll check it out, Brian. It doesn't make sense to me. It never has, and it never will. And I think as a community, we just have to move past that. We have to move past these dumb fucks. You know, they're dumb. The special ed group. That's what I call them, left and right, all day, every day. They're the Special Education Dog Breeders Association. That's what it is. Because if you can't focus on making that dog live, you've lost the battle. The number one rule, you talk to any breeders who are out there, they will tell you the very first rule of dog breeding is lifespan. Lifespan is going to determine everything. You know what I'm saying? Lifespan literally is going to determine everything if you're a successful breeder or not. What is that lifespan supposed to be? Is it supposed to be 8 to 10, 10 to 12? For me, I say 10 to 12 at least. But if you are not hitting that mark, you failed as a breeder. It doesn't matter how good the dog looks if he dies at 3 years old. It's a silly concept, but we are really going to base how good our dogs are or how bad our dogs are simply off of how, you know what I'm saying, how heavy you can make them. That doesn't make sense. You have to have a dog that can live in the next stage in this development as functionality. Can your dog run? Can your dog do dog things? I'm not with the couch potato thing, and I see everybody saying that. But these dogs, although they're not guard dogs, although they're not, even though Mandela does have a daughter that won. Yeah, Steven Jackson, I'll push you 10 to 14 is even better. You know, but Mandela does have a daughter who won, you know, the athletic competition. They're generally not, you know, those type of dogs that'll do a ton of lure coursing and stuff. Generally, I think some of the small pockets fit that category. But this dog is supposed to be a dog that you can take for a walk. This dog is a dog who's supposed to be able to go out and play a little frisbee with you. You know, this dog is, you know, a normal functioning dog that it can do normal things. It does not have to be like super. We always go from a scale of 0 to all the way to 100. We just all the way at 100. You have to be at 0 or you have to be at 100. No, these dogs can do a lot of things that, that make them a more normal dog and pretty athletic. And that doesn't mean that they, what I'm saying, that they have to be what people are talking about. Oh, you trying to make them a game dog. No, you're not trying to make them a game dog. You just got to do what, you got to do what you do. Now you said speak on the pocket class. The pocket class is a disaster right now. The pocket class, and I predicted this some years ago. I predicted that the pocket class was going to be in grave danger. And the reason why the pocket class was going to be in grave danger was a couple factors. First of all, it became the big money class originally. So you had everybody willing to mix a bunch of other dogs in there to cheat to try to get down fast. The other reason that the pocket class was always going to be in danger is because the pocket class, for just being real, was dwarfs. This is why you saw a lot of the issues with the pockets that you didn't see. You know what I mean? The qualities that you wanted to see from a pocket were the big bones and the big head and, very, very short and different things. Those were all factors that come along with the dog being a dwarf. Not many people wanted to admit it at the time, but these were dwarfs. Little Roe, widely considered, the original popular pocket, even though he was 17 inches. That tells you how big the dogs were back in the day. But Little Roe had one testicle. Little Roe had some weird things that went with his toes. His toes sort of pointed in different directions. He was not a perfect dog. His rear was slightly high and he was undershot. Those are all issues that came along with being a dwarf. And what we did at the time, everybody loved Little Roe, so we went along with the concept at that time that we were going to fix the issues, which sometimes it worked out with dogs like Paco. But the dwarf trait was still there. So as you doubled and tripled down on it, some people like Marco mastered it to where he just wasn't getting the issues, but the dogs did get smaller and smaller. Others didn't master it quite so well, and the issues and the health issues and the different things that came along with the pocket, started to show its ugly face, And for those who don't know, this is really where the exotics came from. The original exotics, and the term was coined by Garden State Bullies out of New Jersey. But what was happening is, in the process of everybody trying to make pockets, you started to get these abnormal dogs. And if y'all don't, Mr. Pink was a dwarf. I own Mr. Pink's brother, De Niro, and neither of those dogs were perfect. They were dwarfs. Their issues were dwarf issues. The feet issues, the different issues that they had, whether it was small or big, it come from dwarfism. We can't get around that. The whole pocket breed was originally a dwarf breed. You had these dogs that were coming out abnormally small, and just like with every other gene, if you take the dwarf gene and you start compounding it and breeding it more, you will get it, I think Phenom is a bulldog. I think going back to Phenom, I'm just answering questions off the page, by the way. So if anybody's just listening and not watching it, but Phenom is a bulldog mix. I think a lot of those dogs are bulldog mix. Bullseye should have been banned. Bullseye is an English bulldog with his ears cut off. This was the problem. You had dogs like, say, for instance, Hallie. Now, Hallie nowadays would be considered very large. Hallie was 15.5 inches, and those who've seen her will tell you that bitch out of shape would get up to 90 pounds. Her head was over 25 inches, but she had incredible conformation, breathed straight through the nose, didn't need anything special, but she was a big-ass pocket back then. Her normal weight was in the 80s, but the bitch was big, wide, you know what I'm saying? And, Paco was the same way. Paco was 16.5 inches. I would guess he was very, very thick. Paco was probably 90 pounds at one point. Marco would never tell you what his real weight was, but that dog was thick. I mean, that dog was thick as shit. Sometimes he looked like he could afford to lose a couple pounds. Never fat, but he was always in tip-top A1 size condition. Well, you saw those dogs. But then you saw something start to change when people wanted to add in other breeds, and you knew it. We going from 16, we was lucky. Now you lucky as hell if you get, 15 inches. You did your thing. Man, Bobby Peru is a badass dog. I like Bobby. Now, all of a sudden you start seeing people with 12-inch dogs. Genetics does not work like that. You know what I mean? TBKC is definitely functioning. I mean, working on functional dogs, and a lot of dogs just won't make the cut. But people started to add in things like the English Bulldog was one of the original dogs that they added in, and they added in French Bulldogs. You notice that trend because you can see it on the dogs, these pockets. Then it went crazy because you had the dwarfism genes, you had the issues of mixing different genes and chromosomes that weren't matching up by taking different other small miniature type bull breeds and mixing them in. And what people forgot is that the basis of the French Bulldog is a dwarf itself. The French Bulldog is a dwarf. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people had the pug in the French Bulldogs and dwarf. So you put massive amounts of dwarf genes, and not only were they dwarf genes, but the chromosomes are different because they came from other breeds. In this arms race for people to get their dogs shorter, it made a catastrophe. The pocket class is an absolute catastrophe right now, and the only way that I can see fixing it is going to be a hard elimination, because those genes are so bad you can't fix it. Like, yes, I have pockets, but anybody, there's few people who've been to my home or been around my dogs, they'll tell you my dog, even my pocket sunbathe, but it's because I used the old blood that was the original blood that I know for a fact is not mixed with a bunch of stuff, and it allows, it allows for the healthier strand that we got when we were breeding still dwarf, but we were breeding towards the good side of the genes. We would eliminate, if something bad came out, we would eliminate it, and it would just drop the height, but a lot of the features would stay short. Those who bred all of the mutated and bad genes, you started to see them. And like I told y'all, the ones who were so bad, right, that people knew, like, oh, because once upon a time the ABKC had ethics, so you couldn't just put those dogs in there. Those dogs that were that bad, those are the dogs, my good people, that made exotics. If you go back and you study the original part of the exotic classes and stuff, the original exotics were not as deformed as they are now. They actually looked a lot like pockets. You would see them and you'd be like, is that a pocket? And it would always be that debate. Is that a pocket bully or an exotic? Well, the further they went down the rabbit hole, they did more wild shit, and they bred more screwed up dogs together. The pocket got smaller. It got more deformed. The bone deformities in the legs, the feet being terrible, the breathing gets even more and more and more strange. Katrina, what's going on? Now, all the way over there from England, we got another England in the house. I can't wait to get over there. I can't wait. But, this is what the pocket turned out to be, and by far, I have no problem saying it, the pocket is the most screwed up class. The only way to fix the pocket is going to be elimination. I know with the TBKC over the next 2 years, it's going to be probably a lot of dogs that get rejected. It's going to be a lot of dogs that we're going to have to weed out through proper DNA testing. There's some dogs that we're going to, we're gonna have to fix them up. We're gonna have to fix them up. I mean, it's just that simple. And like I say, it's hard, especially for people who are newer to this breed, because they have no knowledge of what's the difference between a true pocket and these other dogs. And these other dogs, when I tell you, I'm not trying to be dramatic. I'm not trying to push y'all as to what to buy. I don't know. I haven't talked, man. It's a good question, Tyrone. I'm gonna have to reach out to Donald. I know Donald was going through some things, had a surgery and everything, and on top of it was very, very frustrated with the American bully world. So I don't know if Sweet and Low. I know as of last year, Sweet and Low was still living. So hopefully she's still living. One of the best females ever. But yeah, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be very, very hard with the pockets. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It's going to be very, very hard. Very, very hard. Because that stuff is just all mixed up. You know what I mean? And, man, hey, the $200 American Pit Bull Terriers was a lot simpler than this shit. Better dogs, too. But yeah, with the pocket, I'm just being honest with y'all. And that's why I've been pushing y'all so hard. If you see something is wrong, don't breed it. Please don't. I'm telling you, you're not going to fix it. You've now got 15 years of people just putting trash into pedigrees. You are not going to fix that shit in one generation. You're not going to fix it in two. You're not going to fix it in three, four. Maybe the fifth generation you'll get some headway, because by then you've basically washed out all the blood. But think about how backwards that is. Why would you spend, nearly a decade of your time trying to wash out something when you just don't have to use it? You've got people talking about, oh, I only used him for his neck. But you hear yourself. How stupid is it to only use, a dog for his neck? As far as the breedings go, that's line breeding. If you take a great uncle to great niece, that's line breeding. We've been doing that for years. It works. You typically don't come up with huge flaws. I think when you're doing the line breeding thing, my truck cuts off by itself. But when you're doing the line breeding thing, I generally say the things you want to stay away from is parent to kid, and same litter siblings. You want to stay away from that. But like, excuse me, aunt to nephew and all of that stuff, man. It is what it is. What's going on, Wild Ball? I ain't heard from you in a minute, man. Shoot me an email or something. We back on the map. But it's going to be a lot of work. I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's going to be more work than most people think. And I think it's cool in the sense that it's cool in the sense that it's almost like a start over process, because at what point does it typically most dogs reach their top height between 8 and 12 months. A lot of them, you'll notice they don't grow much after 6 months, which is strange, but they don't, especially the pockets. A lot of them reach their top height right around 6 months, 7 months. But I tell you, we're going to have to clean up so much stuff, man. And those who are dedicated to it are going to really push to clean it up. And the other ones, we just going to have to, get up out of there, I've seen Ruger's name come up. Ruger is probably the saddest case in American bully history. I always put somebody at a category. But Ruger was one of the nicest dogs I've ever seen, period. The dog was damn near perfect. If he had an owner that was actually more dedicated to the breed instead of his own ego, Ruger could have made a big impact in the game, because he has an incredible pedigree. And the dog was just flawless. Ruger is another one. When I talked about that 2014 Nationals, that was another, that was a, whatchamacallit, you know what I'm saying? That was a, that was a, another show that was set up, because in that show, they just brought up Sweet and Low. That was the one that Sweet and Low won. But I'm telling you, as much as I love Sweet and Low, that was Ruger's show to win. Ruger should have won that show, but it was a beef between the ABKC and the RKC, and they had took Ruger to the RKC a couple weeks before, and Ruger won the RKC Nationals. You know what I'm saying? Ruger won the RKC Nationals, and there was 3 Denzel kids that placed 1, 2, and 3 for the Dog of the Year there. What was it? Bison, Jax, and what's her name? Pantera. Yeah, they placed 1, 2, and 3, man, at a Remy Line show. I was proud. I was proud because most people don't know that Ruger is actually a grandson off of Denzel's brother, my boy Rome. So my blood was representing like a motherfucker. But it's Ruger should have been bred, man. I've only heard of a couple. I won't even say a handful of breedings off of Ruger, and for him to be such a nice and beautiful dog, man, it really, 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 really sucks that we didn't get the use out of him that we thought we should have. As far as the community, it would have been nice for the dog to do 10 breedings, but like I say, his owner is one of them people, so you just got to deal with it, But overall in this community, man, I tell y'all, we've had fun today on this show. I had fun. I don't know about y'all. But, we've got to get dedicated, Yeah, Luger is like a shorter version of Ruger. Yeah, Luger is very, very nice. Very, very nice over there at Tri-City. But we have to get to the point to where we love the dogs more than we love everything else again, you know. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be a lot of work. I've been going through it, and you know, well, my own personal shit, but you know, just going through the process of eliminating dogs, getting better dogs, bumping my way back up the ladder, slowly but surely. And you know, it's the same thing as what it's gonna take in your yard. You gotta pick the best of the best. You know, if you're not picking the best of the best, you're in trouble. You know. Paco blood is the incredible blood. You know, I love Paco blood. You know, as soon as I get my shit all the way together, I'll probably get me another Paco dog. One of the problems, well, like they said, that Tri-City Bullies, they have a son off of him. You know, off of Ruger. But one of the problems with Ruger is nobody bred him. I think Fernando only bred that dog 2 or 3 times, if I ain't mistaken. I might be wrong, but I know not long ago it was only a few times. You know, it was just weird, man. He used to hook up with people and have shit set up and then just cancel on the people. I don't know why Fernando was doing that, man. You know, and I mean, I guess that was one of the things, man. You know, it was many and many of different things that that actually led to everything that happened. You know what I'm saying? And that brother right there, Wild Ball, he the one that did for years ago, man. It was like God sent him to me because I was trying to find the perfect logo for the TBKC, and that's why you'll see the early logo for the TBKC. It's a million of them, but then he sent the one that we use now, and then we've been using it ever since. That was a fresh logo, man, real clean, not complicated. I loved it. You know, I still love it, and I'm about to have a 4-foot chrome version of it on my wall in my office. But you know, it's I tell y'all, man, you know, before I sign off here, it's hard because we all are part of this community, and hopefully, you know, with everything coming together, we'll be able to have our own community and we'll be able to do our thing. But you know, man, y'all preach healthy dogs. Preach healthy dogs, preach it, because my voice is only so loud, and those other people who are preaching this thing right now is only so loud. But a lot of these young breeders or new breeders come in and they get fooled by these people. They get fooled by these people left and right, unfortunately, and it just continues to help spread the cancer that they are to the community, you know. So I hope that y'all get a little louder, a little more boisterous, and let people know that, you know, we have to fix our breed. This is, like I told y'all many times, this is the main reason why I want to line our dogs up next to you know, tons of other breeds and see what we get into. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna be big. You know, it's gonna be big to line our dogs up against some of the best dogs in the world, especially in the Invitational, bringing in some of the top dogs from other breeds to compete against the best American bullies. But yeah, that term, fully functional, good conformation, show quality, great temperament, that hits it all on the head, man. You know what I mean? No, I don't know anything about what was that, GMJ? Yeah, but healthy dogs definitely matter, man. I appreciate y'all. I did the therapy. I did everything I was supposed to do this morning. So now I have to go get high and lay down. And when I say get high, I don't smoke or anything, but they got me on these damn marijuana gummies, and it eases the pain after they done pulled on my neck. I'm getting another Doberman, man. I had to get rid of the girl, man. Enlarged heart, you know what I mean. Could have bred it, but you know I don't believe in that kind of shit. So we gonna import a red girl here shortly. I'm hoping to have her by Christmas. Brother got something that's about to drop right now, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to get it done. So yeah, my little Doberman program got set back, but I would rather wait 3, 4, 5 years. Actually, I'm gonna start getting my male pulled and frozen. But I would rather wait 3, 4, 5 years, you know what I'm saying, if I had to do it the right way. Show wise, we just now starting to rack them up, and hopefully we get Jersey locked in this weekend, and not Laxahatchee, Florida, but that's where Jenny live. Lakeland. Hopefully we have Lakeland, Florida, and Houston that will be announced. We'll be able to announce the dates by next show at the very least. But the contacts have been made. All that we're waiting for is a board approval from 2 of the places, and the other place is an owner approval. Once everything is approved, we'll be announcing these 3 shows. The new website is on its way. Like I told y'all, that was a huge blessing, huge marketing company and everything that's going to take care of that. I'm really excited to finally have something that is I know going to be better than everybody else's. The new pedigree builder, y'all. I know y'all tired of Bullypedia, so I'm gonna very, very shortly, y'all will have one that you don't have to pay for, and it's crisp, it's clean, it don't look all ghetto like some of them other ones. It's gonna be some good shit, you know what I mean? So I thank y'all for sticking with me that long, man, but we finally getting it together and we gonna do our thing. What's going on, Mark? But you know, we'll be back at it. I got some videos that's coming to this page. Like I told y'all, before y'all sign out, make sure y'all like, y'all subscribe. Yeah, Oscar, that's my boy. I judge for the WBA. So, you know, it's all love, Wild Ball. We gonna get it together, man. But y'all like, subscribe, all that. If you want to make a donation, Cash App, TBKC Dogs. If you have any questions, reach out, TBKC Dogs. At Gmail. I was about to mess that up. Hall of Fame Bullies on Facebook. And y'all come through and check out some of them pictures on True American Bully. I'm going to be posting a lot more. I made a video about dogs coming up and breedings coming up and bitches that's pregnant. And there's some badass males that's on the ground, actually. So y'all check them out, too. But we going to get it together, man. I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate all this TBKC talk. I'll be reaching out to everybody, man, but y'all stay the hell away from them fireworks. Just watch them in the sky and not in your eye. But as I always finish this thing, I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all don't do nothing else, and it really hits home this week, if you're going to drink good, make sure you, if you're going to drink good. If you're going to smoke, make sure you smoke good, not none of that old brown bullshit. And if you're going to do that thing, then me and Rihanna, you know how we be acting. Make sure you do that good for him or her. Don't leave your ass. But until next time, yeah, man, much love to y'all. God bless y'all. Y'all be safe with all these crazy-ass people with these fireworks this weekend. Y'all do good things on that grill. Don't y'all be out there burning that meat. And Hennessy on me. Until next time, much love, y'all. Peace.